What is up, guys? I'm Brad with Despite Fitness, and we just got done watching some Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So the original. Come with me, and you'll see the world of Despite Fitness. So what I'm trying to do here is give you guys a little bit of you know, education, inspiration, motivation, right? That's kind of what I peddle here. I don't have no chocolates. Nope. No candies, no sweets. Just knowledge. But some of the stuff I do is pretty cool. But not all the time. Most of the time it's just pretty like, blah. But like sometimes it's cool. So today we're gonna do some, catching up. I've found, I don't know how you guys feel generally, but I do have to admit that in the wake of my health condition, my heart, you know, things kind of being whatever, I've had a real hard time recovering. So my recovery is, I've noticed, is kind of down. So the back-to-back, you know, stuff that I was able to do even just a few months ago seems almost too much to handle. You know, I'll do an exercise and be sore for, you know, several days now, when that wasn't usually always the case. So I got a few things that I'm hoping to kind of correct, like, you know, not the least of which is I got sleep apnea, so I'm gonna get a CPAP, so maybe I'm not sleeping so good. Anyway, the point that I'm making about saying that is twofold. One, recovery is huge. A lot of your real gains and growth and development and ability to train stems outside of the gym, and so being aware of the things that are affecting you is a big thing, right? Because it can really make a difference, really make a difference, especially as you get a little bit older. You get a little bit up in age, and you know, you maybe don't recover so good, being nearly 40 now. Dogs getting in stuff. So understanding what affects your recovery and your training is a real big thing. But the other reason why I say that is what we've been doing, not necessarily purposefully, but kind of inadvertently, is putting more gaps in between training. So we'll be like on for 2 days, off for a day, on for 2 days. So really we ended up missing what would have been our Wednesday training. And so we're trying to catch back up on that now. And so what I may look to do is hit our winning warm-up, hit our main movement, which is going to be a block pull today, and then maybe try to do our speed work today too, just because the speed work isn't super, you know, it's not huge, and it's not like completely overbearing. So we might be able to kind of shoehorn that into today to kind of check that block, so that we can round out our training week tomorrow with some bench pressing. So anyway, that's kind of why I say what I say in terms of like what we're doing. But for the winning warm-up today, we're gonna do some leg curl. We're gonna work our adductors today because we haven't worked that in a bit, and I like working the adductor and abductors to help with hip stability, and I really feel like that makes a big difference on lower body activation days. It's just kind of getting those warmed up and ready to rock for that additional hip stability. We're gonna do some fat bar rows. So we're just gonna load up the fat bar and do some rows, get the back warmed up, you know, warm up the grip a little bit, or, you know, tax out the grip a little bit. So I think that'll be good. And then we're gonna do some leg extension for the front portion or the interior of the legs, hit those quads and get those going too. So that'll be what we're up to today. The target is block pull, as well as maybe some speed work on squat, and then, you know, depending on time, because we're getting going kind of late, depending on how we're able to move through everything, we may or may not get into the speed work, so we'll see how that goes. But that's what we're doing, why we're doing, and if you're wondering why I'm waving these sunglasses around, I have no idea. They were on my head from earlier and I forgot they were there, and I pulled them off just moments before we started recording, thinking it doesn't make any sense to have sunglasses on my head, but it doesn't make any sense to wave them around either, so I've foiled my whole plan for not looking nonsensical. Yeah. Yeah.
I have no words for you today.
No witty banter for that. Okay.
All right, come on, Willy Wonka.
The people are going to have to be disappointed, I suppose. All right, but yeah, with all that said, we're going to get into it, and hopefully you guys will stick around and check this video out, and we'll see you on the backside. Here we go.
And here we go.
my body back and forth. Move 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 my body. Move my body back and forth. 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 Move my body.
Okay, that's it. That's the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Didn't have much in the middle in terms of like anything to talk about, so we just piled through it. Got through the winning warm-up. Started out with the leg extension, just because that's how the machine was set up when we loaded it. So we knocked out leg extension, the adductors, the fat bar curls, and then finished it up with the leg curl once we changed the machine around. And then we moved into the block pull. Today, we ended up using straps. I didn't really measure the height or whatever, but we were really just kind of gunning toward the bottom of the knee and doing some 5 rep, which is what the motif of the training has been lately, right? Just stay with those 5s, kind of stay on top of things. I got up to 602, pretty funny. Using those little chip plates that I got for Christmas. I like those are kind of funny. So went to 602 for a set of 5, which I thought was pretty good. And then Nat got up to 245 for her set of 5, which is pretty good. You know, she was looking on the board that I have over here. We used to kind of hand write some stuff in. And, you know, formerly her 1 rep max was like 185, but we got her up now and she's hitting, you know, a block pull for, you know, 245 for 5. I'd say that's pretty good. So, you know, she found herself being a little disappointed with kind of how that felt. Isn't that right?
Yeah, my grip.
Just a little bit disappointed, feeling like the deadlift as a main movement is kind of coming along the slowest. However, right, when we keep that in focus and context for where she started versus where she is now, you know, really world of difference. That's quite an incredible strength jump in a relatively short period of time. I mean, we're only talking, you know, a year, maybe a little year plus in terms of consistent training, maybe not even quite a year. So that's really, really good. And you know, you gotta, you know, none of us are ever where we want to be, and I think we all know that, right? So you take the biggest, baddest, you know, lifter, the most powerful, strongest human being in the world, and you ask him like, hey man, are you done? You like that? You've reached the limit, you're happy? The answer's gonna be no. I want to do more. I want to lift more. I want to, right? So we're always constantly trying to improve. So none of us are ever where we want to be. But it doesn't hurt from time to time to take a look back behind us and kind of see where we came from, to keep things in perspective for us. Because I think maybe mentally we get away from the realism of what real dedicated training looks like. It's long and slow and laborious, but when staying consistent and staying true to it, keeping that continuity for a long period of time, you'd be amazed at how far you can really come, and really not even be aware of it, right? Like it's not something that you necessarily perceive all the time. You week in, week out, month in, month out, year by year by year, sometimes it's easy to forget, especially when we have those real big eyes of where we want to go, right? So yeah, so just kind of keep that in perspective. I hope that's kind of a decent outgoing lesson for today's video is always be hungry for more, but don't be afraid to turn around every now and then and to reflect on how far you're coming and be proud of yourself. It's okay to be proud of yourself. But really, you're never competing against anybody else except for yourself, because you can only be as strong as you can be. So irrespective of what other people are doing, it really is immaterial. It doesn't matter what they're doing, because you need to be where you are. So I hope that's something that you guys can take with you and continue to chant back to yourselves, especially in times where you're feeling a little bit low about your own progression. That's it. That's the video. Questions, comments, or concerns, drop in the chat box below. I will respond. I appreciate your continued support with the channel and everything that you guys have done to help us get where we are today. Thank you very much. If you've seen a few videos and haven't subbed, I wish that you would. A great deal of my viewership is non-subscribers. So if that's you, consider hitting that sub button. I appreciate it. And yeah, guys, remember, no matter what it is you think you can't do, keep your eye on the prize, but be satisfied with how far you've come. It is a little difficult, but it's never going to happen if you don't continue to get in and train despite. You're either going to find an excuse, you're going to find a way, and I hope that you guys continue to find a way. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace. Blah.